Welcome. We're going to work on this assignment. It's called Documenting the Assembly. It's based off of a 214 PLTW assignment. And we're going to try to replicate this whole situation here. So I'm going to walk you through everything that we're going to do, as well as organizing some of your work on Fusion. So here we go. We're going to go with I've given you the arch, the rectangle, and the triangle, and we're going to download it. So what I've been doing is sharing the F3D instead of the URL because there's a problem with the with the launcher now. So we're just going to do that. So I'm going to keep this in the background here and move over here. So what you're going to do first is open a new document, untitled. That's cool. Then I want you to go over to your waffle. And if you look here, you're going to have something called default project. Mine says admin. I'm the teacher, but go ahead and click on your default project. And then within that, I want you to create a new folder. So we're going to call this, what was the number again? 214. Ooh. They're talking to me. Oh no, you know what it was? Is it saved itself. Okay, so we'll go with this one. I'll go to rename if that happens. You can do it that way. So it was 214. And I'm just going to say documenting. Okay, so that gives me enough of what's going on. I'm going to write demo here because I have a bunch of these now, so that seems right. And I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. If you don't hit enter, if you click off of it, it won't save what you typed. I'll open that up. Now, if you remember, I downloaded those 3 pieces, so I'll go ahead and upload. Download show. I'm holding shift on my keyboard. You could also do this like a square drag. You can do them all at the same time. So whichever you're more comfortable with. And then we have to move this because it's hiding. Upload. So that pulls all of those in. The other thing I'm going to do that I haven't done yet, no, I don't want to open those yet, is I'm going to go into here and I'm going to hit save. And we're going to call this 214 assembly. Save. So see how everything's neatly in the same folder, easy to find. I know, it's wonderful. So now what we're going to do is put the shapes together so that they're similar. Ooh. No, sorry about that. Some kind of crazy thing I just clicked on. Oh, it's the old video. Okay, so what we're going to do is assemble everything to look like this. This is 1/16 of an inch. This is 1/2 of an inch. We're going to have 0.5 and 0.19 as our numbers here, and that's fine. So let's show how we're going to do that. So we're going to bring in the arch into that assembly. I've had a couple kids where they try to pull everything into the arch. That's not going to work out because what you want is this arch to be grounded, everything else to work out. You want it to be its own assembly. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in I call it the triangle. It's easier that way. Okay, so we're going to go here. And I'm just going to hit OK. I didn't really need to do that because, look, it'll move now. This won't move because, again, it has that anchor. But here we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Assemble, Joint. This is just going to be a fixed joint, and I don't have to do anything as far as movement. I find if I grab this center one with it going vertical, the circle being vertical, and then I do the center one with that circle being vertical, I find that's a nice meetup. Really what you're doing is just matching them so that they go in the same direction. If yours went in the other direction for some reason, there's this flip option, which can happen. Now we'll bring in the rectangular cube, right? I just call them rectangle. I make it easy. Okay. Again, I didn't need to do that. It's a force of habit. Okay. So on this one, what we found is if we assemble it here, if I use the face of this and then kind of bop over to this corner, and then the face of this and bop over to that corner. But look, it wants to do weird stuff. So just pay attention to where nope, I don't want it to go that way. I want that one. And well, this is good. This one did a flip, so now you can see, what happens there. So I'm just going to click flip the other way. And now it meets up with that, but we're going to move it in. So I have mine set to inches. It did inches. And when I moved it in, it ended up being my Z going negative 0.50, but yours may go in a different direction depending on where things were oriented when you started. And if you're in millimeters, you're just going to type 0.5 IN, and then it'll convert it. But you do want to switch it to inches at some point. So let me show you where that is. So if you have it in millimeters, if you notice this says mm here, I went on the drop down arrow here, hovered over this, and then clicked on this. Then here you can change things, okay? All right, so we have the assembly put together, but we're not done yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit save on my floppy disk. I'm going to put this in the home visual so we can see it there. So on this square here, and I can close this for a little bit. I'm making myself a little more room. On this square here where it says design, I want to drop down and go to animation. In the animation, there's two options. I want to show you this one first and show you how much I don't want to work with it. So there's this. I'm not feeling it, so I'm going to hit X. I kind of want one to go in one direction and one to go in the other. So I'm going to click on this one, go up, and I'm going to make sure that my trail line visibility is turned on. Sometimes you can't see it. That's because it's underneath or there's something else in the way. If it's giving you a hard time and it's still not showing up, don't worry about it. It's just, it looks better on a technical drawing. So then I'm hitting the crosshairs again, the transfer components, and then I'm moving this one in this direction. Again, I forgot to hit that, so let me put my trail line visibility in and hit OK. So, I mean, if we wanted to match it exactly like that, we could. Let me go back. So for that, they clicked on this, trail line visibility. I'll turn it on first so you can see. They went this way, and then they went this way. Oop, nope, they didn't. That didn't work. They have this like squared off thing. That's what I was trying to do. So we're going to go straight out with our trail line visibility. Hit OK. And then we're going to go again and go up. Oh, man, it's not working. Oh, poop. All right. In my demo in class, we did it straight out anyway. I didn't even think to do that. So I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's being weird. We'll just keep going with what we have here. So we'll hit save. Okay. So now that we have this, we're going to go back and go into design. No, we're not. Let's stay in animation. We're going to go down to drawing from animation. Now, in a perfect world where all of your stuff works, when you go here on your template, you should have your demo template or your 2025 template. If it is not there on the drop down, don't worry, keep moving forward. But if you do have it, it just looks way better. Put it in. So I did from animation, which means it's going to bring that exploded view in first once it thinks about it for a while. So I'm bringing that in. See how everything looks so pretty here? It's 1-to-1 for this, and I'm okay with that. When it brings in the other stuff, it's going to be 1-to-2, but we'll keep that the way it is. So then over here, I'm going to bring in what's called a base view, and that's going to bring that assembly in like that, and we're going to hit OK. Then I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to do my projected view, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go kind of diagonal to give that. Now, if yours is going in the other direction, it means that when you assembled it, you did it a little differently. Hit enter. That's okay. It's just have these three components. So if we look here, you can see that's what they have here, right? We're going to put those dimensions in. So right here, dimension. And you got to zoom in and get those. You use your little square there to grab the two pieces and then go up. And then again, it's this one here. And this one here. Okay. So if we look back here, what we see, why does it keep doing that? We have that done, but we don't have this or the little bubbles, right? So this is called a bomb table, and these are called balloons on Fusion. I'm trying to think what they're called on Onshape. They have a different term, but this is what we have. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. So I'm going to grab the auto table, and then I'm going to click on this. And it brings this in and just set it in a safe place. It brings in the balloons for us and names them and, adds everything based on the name, based on what the material is. So based on that, you've done everything that needs to be done to mimic this. Oh no, I take that back. We have to add that note. You see there's a note there? So let's add the note. So that's text. And the note says, wait, this should all be in capitals, so put your caps lock on. So all tolerances. And then to get your plus or minus, there's a drop down here. .01 inches. What did I just do? Something went wrong. Double click. I was trying to do something different, so okay. 0.01. You got to watch me all the time. 0.01 inches. Okay, that gave it in. And then it also has another part of the note, and that part says, parts adhere with wood glue. There you go. So now we have that note. So I'm looking for, in the assignment, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this. But I'm looking for one more thing that you have to do independently that is not part of like this drawing over here. And that is, I want you to change these materials where it says steel. So let me go ahead and hit save. And if you look at your waffle, like I don't need that side thing now, right? That's been added in here. So we have everything in one place in the folder, which I love. So let's start with the arch. You're going to go back into the original arch. You're going to do two things. You're going to change the material and you're going to change the appearance. So the material, you're going to go here and you can pick anything. Like, yes, it's probably a wood or whatever, but I don't know. I'm going to do just stone. We'll pretend that one's stone. Close. And then here I'm going to go with appearance. And since it's stone, I'm still going to kind of stick in that area, I guess. Let's go with marble. And then this is where it gets weird. You have to hit save here. And if you go here, there's no like, hey, I need to update stuff. But if you go here and we go back into design, it says, hey, I need to update stuff. So you click on this and then you hit save. And now when you go to your assembly drawing, you hit this. And then you can save as you go. Always save, right? But you can see now your material says stone instead of steel, and the color here looks more like stone. So for your assignment, you have to change all three of these and all three of these. If it says steel or if it's the same color as what I started with, then you won't get full credit. I mean, it's a couple points off, but still. If you want the perfect score, you're going to need to go back and make sure that all of those are correct. I'm going to leave that to you. I'm not going to put that part in because obviously now you see how it works. And that's it. So let me go back to our assignment here and you'll see my rubric, right? Change materials and colors, 15 points. Show dimensions, 25 points. Show front, right, and ISO view, 25 points. Show bomb table and exploded view, 25 points, and then show the note is 10 points. So like if you're missing one of those components, you're going to have points taken off for different things there. All right, good luck. You got this.